Going to call to order the Finance Committee meeting for this August 1st, 2022. If you'll stand with me, we'll have our invocation followed by the flag salute. Dear Lord, we come once again just thanking you for the gift of another day. Thank you for all the blessings you bestowed upon us. I ask that you would just look upon our community as we're going through the summer season. Bless our seniors in the midst of this heat season. I ask that you would just look upon your city councilors tonight as we come together to do the business of our city. Let all that we do be in your will and in your way. These are many of the blessings we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Flag salute. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Finance Committee, item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Finance Committee minutes of July 18th, 2022, or take other necessary action.
After reviewing the minutes, are there any corrections or additions to our minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our minutes. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item number 1 passes. Item number 2, please.
Consider approval of claims for all city departments July 9th, 2022 through July 22nd, 2022, or take other necessary action.
Do we have a report from the Purchasing Committee?
Yes, the Purchasing Committee did meet this afternoon, and we move for approval on the claims.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve our claims list. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item number 2 passes. Item number 3, please.
Consider approval to spend up to the approved budgeted amounts for Xerox, Dell Computers, 911 Trust, Routeware, and Tyler Technologies, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Cummins?
Committee members, I just come before you to ask approval to go ahead and to spend the money that we have budgeted for these items that is in the approved budget for this year.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Cummins?
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this agenda item. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
I had a question.
Okay, I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Chris, can you tell us what that dollar amount is?
It's different for each of the vendors. So I don't have a total dollar amount on here for
Is
all
it-
of these vendors.
Is it what's in the background?
It's in the budget.
Well,
I don't know what the-
Chris,
I don't know.
I think her question is in the background information to the agenda item. I think it is.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, each item is in the background and the amounts
Yeah.
for
Thank you, sir.
each item.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds. Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item number 3 passes. Item number 4, please.
Consider approval of lease amendment number P00009 with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs extending the parking lease at Hatbox to September 30th, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Mr. Chair and committee, this is an amendment to extend the lease for parking by the VA hospital at Hatbox at the runway parking out there. This lease is currently expected to expire in September of this year, so this will amend it for an additional 3 years with the VA.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilkerson, do we have a backup plan for in case we're using Hatbox for another item during, let's just say we have another G-Fest and we need to use that area on Thursday and Friday. Is there a backup plan for that?
No, there's not. We do communicate and discuss with them that we alter their use, for example, the Balloon Fest. So there's 3 days through there that we limit their activity, but in the case of the Balloon Fest, we're able to do it because it's just nighttime and then weekends. They're not there on the weekends, but just it's only the first Friday night that we Friday that we affect them, so.
I'm currently talking to 3 different groups about doing music festivals. 2 are very serious. One is wanting to use one of the raceways. One is definitely wanting Hatbox. The other has not made up their mind yet. But I would hope by 2023 that we would be doing a Thursday, Friday, Saturday event out there. We might want to put something into this lease that would address that, just in case we do a special event, that we can have an alternate plan to them. I would like to see something like that in the lease, so we don't run into a position where we cannot do one of these events because we have done this lease.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds, I was going to say we don't usually do the leases like that. We just give them a courtesy that on those days, if we know we have an event, that you can have limited parking.
There's quite a bit of cars out there now,
Yeah.
and I'm not exactly sure where you would move them on that facility if,
We won't move them. We just would tell them that on these days instead of 100 parks, you may only have 25. But normally when we have those leases, we just give them a courtesy that on these days, here's something else that may be going on.
well, back to my point, if we do something like G-Fest, that whole area where there are parking would be where staging and all of that is. If we run into a situation where we can't use that area, it might knock us out of doing an event. I yield the floor back.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion?
Move for approval.
Yes, can you let the public know what we take in for that?
In the background, I believe there is the amendment, and it's basically an annual of $105,600. So it's $8,800 a month.
Thank you.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item number 4 passes, and with that item passing, that is our final item for Finance Committee.
You to tonight's Public Works Committee, August 1st of 2022. Item number 1, please.
Consider approval of Public Works Committee minutes of July 18th, 2022, or take other necessary action.
We all had time to review the minutes. Any motions or concerns?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 2, please.
Consider approval to reject all proposals received for preparation of a revised comprehensive plan for the city of Muskogee and direct staff to revise the scope of work and/or increase the budget for said project or take other necessary action.
Ms. Katrina Bodenhammer.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We put out an RFP for a new comprehensive plan for the city of Muskogee. The last one was done in 2013. They're good for about 10 to 15 years. We've had a lot of changes in the city and a lot of requested changes as far as zoning and use areas for the city, and a lot of growth is coming in. The original amount that was allotted for this was $120,000. The comprehensive plan cost us $120,000 in 2013, so there's been no increase in that amount. We received 3 bids, which we published the RFP on the American Planning Association website, various newspapers, and really put it out there. But we only got 3 bids in. One bid was from a company in Switzerland. Almost half of the budget was allotted to travel to the U.S., not for actually developing a good comprehensive plan for the city. One, which I was pretty impressed with, was over $300,000. We received one bid for $120,000, but what they were proposing was very limited based on our budget amount. So I need to know or get council's direction at being able to reject these bids because we can't afford one. One is just not appropriate for our city at all, and one was not sufficient in order to develop the type of plan that we need. And so first I would like to be able to reject those bids. Secondly, I would like to get more direction as far as whether or not we can increase the amount of money that we're going to pay for this comprehensive plan. and see what your thoughts are on that. And then third, if that we can do an increase, or even without an increase, that we can put our RFP back out, maybe revise it and publish it again, trying to get some more bids in.
Thank you.
Are you looking for a not to exceed amount? I'm sorry, Madam
Oh,
Chair.
you're fine.
Are you looking for a not to exceed amount?
That would be very helpful.
I think we need to direct staff to revise the said plan with a not to exceed budget amount of $300,000. And I think Ms. Boldenham, what would be good for this committee is if we get copies of the plan before it goes out, so that they can see what the changes and where the investment is gonna go. I move for that.
If I,
Oh, go ahead.
If
To
I-
reject.
yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was gonna say.
Motion to reject and then whatever.
So the motion would be to reject all proposals that were received, to direct staff to revise the scope of work, and to increase the budget for an amount not to exceed $300,000.
As revised.
Second.
Any more discussion?
Can I ask a question? Can you give us some background on this comprehensive plan when we talk? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, I sure can. So the comprehensive plan lays out the entire city, and it puts different, like, various zoning in, what zoning would be here, what, which type of zoning would be in another area, what type of future development that we want. Are certain areas going to be designated for housing developments, shopping centers, what the future growth of our city, the target is for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
With that being said, I know that we may want to consider, with the current marijuana issues that we've had recently. Is that something, Roy, that we can include in the comprehensive plan and maybe address some of those zonings and have that included to help us, so we won't have such big battles when it comes to this special zoning?
Absolutely. And Deputy Mayor, we have with the proposed motion, we will have been given direction to revise the scope of work, and so we will certainly include that in there, in the revised scope of work that goes out. Part of the reason, also to add on what Ms. Bodenhammer said, is that the City of Muskogee Foundation has solicited their own future planning. And from what we've been told, many of the same components that were in our request for a comprehensive plan will be included in theirs, and we expect theirs to come out within a month. So the short answer is we think some of the work may already be done for us, in which case that will help offset some of the additional expenses that we're going to need for the comprehensive plan, because we really don't want to downscale what we're looking for, because the comprehensive plan is effectively the guiding document for how we zone and how we plan for future development. And it does have the proposal. One of the things that we did get questioned on for the proposal is the amount of public meetings that we have incorporated in our proposal, because that will take a lot of time, and that was one of the reasons why the expenses, why the original budget was deemed by the proposers as not being high enough, because we had one meeting in each ward, public meeting in each ward, plus one at-large meeting somewhere for everyone to be involved. And so this was intended to be kind of a holistic approach for determining how best, with citizen input, to gauge future growth within the city. And so those are all considerations, Mr. Deputy Mayor, that will be incorporated into that will remain, and then will also be incorporated into the revised scope of work.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
As a yes, mean we're rejecting,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
Yes.
You want to read the motion again, Mr. Tucker, just so we could be clear?
Sure. The motion is to reject the proposals, to direct staff to revise the scope of work as discussed, and further to increase the allocation for the comprehensive plan to not to exceed $300,000.
Yes.
Tracy Hoos.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds. Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 3, please.
Consider approval to purchase from state contract SW192 one case 721G Z-Bar wheel loader for the use in Public Works Street Department from OCT Equipment LLC in the amount of $247,578.20, or take other necessary action.
Mike Stewart.
Mr. Rigney from Public Works is going to address the next 4 items for us.
Okay.
All right, so this is a front end loader that goes down at the material yard. We currently have one that is nearing the end of its useful life and will need to be replaced. We're going ahead and putting it on now because there is a lead time for these. It should be in sometime within the next year. We just don't want to be without one of those. It's a necessary piece of equipment to our operations. Any questions?
Discussion?
I don't think Councilor Reynolds will think I'm taking his name in vain. In previous conversations, the questions have been asked by Councilor Reynolds and others. When we retire that equipment, what do we do with it?
Well, there's options, but I believe normally it goes to the surplus.
Okay.
Yeah, and Mayor, this is probably one of those items we will not retire one out because we're down to just one loader. Basically, through attrition, we've lost several, so this is just bringing us back into what we need.
Okay.
But Mr. Rigney is absolutely correct. Most things are surplused out.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second it.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 4, please.
Consider approval of the purchase of one AccuBatch brine maker from Cargill for use in the Public Works Street Department in the amount of $33,492 through Muskogee Sourcewell, member ID 17934, Cargill Sourcewell Contract number 052919-CGI, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Wrigley.
Okay, so this is a brine maker for snow and ice brine on the roads, and what this does is it makes our current process more efficient and makes sure that we have the optimized mixture of salt and water. You guys know that the snow's been picking up as of recent, and when we have an emergency like that, we want to be efficient and quick by getting this stuff out on the road, so this will keep it, store it longer, and make it correctly, and take some of that work away from the manpower and get them back on the streets applying the brine and salt to the streets.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
to the point you're making, Mr. Wrigley, with the excessiveness with snow and that type of weather, are we doing ourselves a service by only getting one, or do we need another?
This one should be more than capable of handling what we need.
Not more than capable, I mean adequate in terms of manpower.
Yes, this is a step in the right direction to making sure that we have adequate snow and ice mitigation.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Do we have any more discussion or a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any more discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 5, please.
Consider approval of purchasing 2 60-gallon sprayers and spreaders in the amount of $26,298 from Top Equipment via Sourcewell contract for use in the Environmental Control Division, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Wrigley.
So that price is for the 2 of them, just to be clear. These will be used in environmental control for spraying for weeds and putting down other herbicides. It is a stand-on sprayer, so it'd be ridden around like a zero-turn lawnmower effectively. And it also has a spreader function for pellets of herbicide or fertilizer that we may need to put out.
Question. Do we have one currently?
Not like this. We have spray applicators that we have on the back of the Polaris or that we put in the back of trucks, but this would be a different way of going about it, and this would be able to get further away from the street. So these would go on the grass where the current process really only hits the right-of-way.
Thank you. Do we
Move
have
for
a
approval.
second?
Second.
Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee,
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds,
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
The item passes. Item number 6, please.
Consider approval of purchasing one 144-inch X-Mark mower in the amount of $63,999 through Omnia Partners for Marvin's Mowers for use in the Environmental Control Division, or take other necessary action.
Mr. Brickley.
All right, so this is a 144-inch mower, and the purpose of this is to get the quality of a cut that you get with the zero turn with the efficiency and size of a tractor with a brush hog on it. So it will cut down on our time and give us a better finished product when we use it.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion?
Question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
And it's probably relative to some of the other items as well. Where do we use this equipment?
So the last two for the environmental control will be on the areas of town that we mow the grass, Shawnee Bypass, People Boulevard, those areas, as well as city lots that we maintain. And the front end loader would be based out of the material yard, but it's used in applications all over the city. For instance, when the meadows flooded recently, we used the front end loader to clean up down there. And then the brine maker would be located at the material yard. It would be stationary there, but we would use it to fill up the tanks that are on the back of the trucks that we use to spread.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
Move for approval. I'll second it.
Okay, roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee,
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
The item passes. Item number 7, please.
Consider approval of the appointment of Stacy Alexander to the Board of Adjustment to serve a 3-year term, filling the expired term of Bo Hires, beginning August 1, 2022, and ending on July 31, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Counselor Dr. Hous.
Thank you. This is my item. This is my appointment for Mrs. Alexander for Board of Adjustment. Her background and her previous commitment to the city, she's perfect for this position, so my motion is to appoint her.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
The item passes. Item number 8, please.
Consider approval of the appointment of Russell Sane to the Planning and Zoning Commission to serve a 3-year term, filling the expired term of Michelle Shirley, beginning August 1, 2022, and ending on July 31, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Counselor Dr. Hous.
Thank you. Again, this is another one of my appointments. Mr. Zane, with his background and his commitment to Muskogee, he desired to be on this board for Planning and Zoning Commission. So he's my motion is to recommend him for this.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 9, please.
Consider approval of the appointment of Art Smith to the Uniform Building Code Appeals Board to serve a 5-year term, filling the expired term of Danny Tracy, beginning August 1, 2022, and ending on July 31, 2027, or take other necessary action.
Counselor Dr. Hous.
Thank you. My appointment for Mr. Smith for this board, this had to have a background with some fire suppression also, so he meets the needs, and my motion is to recommend him for this board. Thank you.
Okay, that was your motion. Any second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
The item passes. Item number 10, please.
Consider approval of the reappointment of Chris Conley to the Muskogee Medical Center Authority to serve a full 7-year term beginning June 1, 2022, and ending on May 31, 2029, or take other necessary action.
Counselor Ms. Stout.
Yes, Chris is a very important asset to the medical authority, and he'd like to continue serving, and so I move that as my recommendation.
Second.
Any discussion?
My question, Madam Chair, is for Mr. Tucker. On the Medical Center Authority, that 7-year range, is that in their bylaws or ours?
It is in, their bylaws have to be approved by us. And so I believe it is actually in the trust indenture.
Okay, I'm just curious. That seems like a long time.
These are the longest terms of any of the positions are at the Medical Center Authority. That's
We
correct.
may need to revisit that. Not tonight, but I think we need to look at that again.
Okay. Do we have a second? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee,
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
The item passes. Item number 11, please.
Consider approval of the appointment of Betty Blackwell to the Planning and Zoning Commission to serve a 3-year term, filling the expired term of Paige Fricks, beginning August 1, 2022, and ending on July 31, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Okay. Ms. Shirley?
Yes. Betty, as everyone knows, is a realtor here in Muskogee. Has been one for 15 years, and I feel like she would do a good job.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee,
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 12, please.
Consider approval of the appointment of Evelyn Hibbs to the Street Improvement Advisory Board to serve a 5-year term, replacing Dr. Samuel Craig, beginning August 1, 2022, and ending on July 31, 2027, or take other necessary action.
This is my item, and we all know Ms. Hibbs, and I move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee,
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. Item number 13, please.
Consider approval of the appointment of Lake Moore to the Board of Adjustment to serve a 3-year term beginning August 1, 2022, and ending on July 31, 2025, or take other necessary action.
Councilor Reynolds.
This is my agenda item. Mr. Moore is a local realtor and would be a great addition to this board, and that would be my motion, that we nominate Lake Moore to this board.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery,
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee,
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes.
Item passes. No one has signed up to speak, so this concludes our meeting.
Call to order the special call agenda for the Muskogee City Council for August 1st, 2022. Roll call.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Here.
Ivory Van.
Here.
Jamie Stout.
Here.
Alex Reynolds. Stephanie Jones.
Here.
Tracy McGee.
Here.
Tracy Hous.
Here.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Here.
Mr. Tucker, do we need to go ahead and alert the audience that we will be striking item number 2?
Yes, that's appropriate, Mayor.
Do we need a motion?
No.
Item number 2 will not be discussed because we don't have anything to discuss. Item number 1.
Consider a memorandum of understanding between the City of Muskogee and Muskogee County EMS to purchase an ambulance or take other necessary action.
Let me just say before we turn the floor over to Ms. Bodenhammer that we want to be very thankful to the council because during our discussions when we were talking about what to do with rescue plan funding, it happened to be at a time where one of the greatest needs that we needed at the time was with our ambulance service. They have several ambulances that are overdue to be retired, and I thought it was a Herculean effort on behalf of this council to take the budgetary action to be certain that we budgeted to be able to assist our local EMS the way we're doing, as we will hear from Ms. Bodenhammer during this conversation about the memorandum of understanding. Ms. Bodenhammer.
Thank you, sir. Good evening again, everyone. This is, we're looking for approval for a memorandum of understanding between the City of Muskogee and Muskogee EMS. We did receive funds, and I'll have to look at my notes to read it out, from the American Rescue Plan Act, state and local fiscal recovery funds. We use these funds to purchase an ambulance. Part of our agreement with EMS is we would purchase the ambulance, turn it over to EMS, Muskogee County EMS. They will maintain it, they will insure it, they'll be responsible for its operation and use, and we hand it over. Their agreement in return for us is that they will keep this within city limits, or always keep an ambulance within city limits of the Muskogee to make sure that they have the necessary vehicle to aid our citizens.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Ms. Bodenhammer. Do we have any discussion,
Second.
questions from the council? We have, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Shirley Hilton Flannery.
Yes.
Tracy Hous.
Yes.
Tracy McGee.
Yes.
Stephanie Jones.
Yes.
Alex Reynolds.
Yes.
Jamie Stout.
Yes.
Ivory Van.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Derek Reed.
Yes.
Mayor Marlon Coleman.
Yes, the item passes as we have previously stated. There is nothing to discuss for item 2. It has been stricken from the agenda. No residents have signed to speak to us
Sure.
tonight, so yes.
Would you mind recognizing tomorrow night, National Night Out?
Let me say thank you, Mr. Van. Tomorrow's National Night Out, and we will be at Rotary Park and Robinson Park. This year, the community resource officers from the Muskogee Police Department, I believe, Chief T, you correct me, are leading that effort. And so we're looking forward to that. They start at 6 p.m. to 8. Is it 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at both of those parks? We're encouraging the residents of our community to please support this event. It goes a long way to show solidarity and unity in our community, that we want to celebrate together one night as a community in 2 locations, that we are unified in our commitment to be against crime. And so a big shout out to Muskogee Police Department for picking up the leadership role in that regard on tonight. And thank you, Mr. Van,
Thank you.
for reminding me of that. There's no further business, so we are adjourned.